With the release of Season 5 of Yellowstone, it's not difficult to overlook some hidden details embedded in the riveting Western drama, from surprise references to previous characters, mysterious connections between unlikely players, and subtle foreshadowing for future episodes. Today we will uncover some Easter eggs from Season 5 so far that you might have missed. Episode 1, Rip's Prophecy. Rip observes the celebrations from a grassy knoll above the action, while the rest of the ranch honors John's inauguration. I never consider what may happen a year from now, or in 10 years, Rip says to Beth as she heads to the couch with her husband. I'm always worried about today with an eye on tomorrow, but when I look down there, 10 years worries me. Rip is more skeptical when Beth claims that John ran for office to defend their house. Rip compares John's victory celebration with Nero's fiddle playing while Rome burnt. He's about to lose this place. Rip simply adds, "This reminds me of that." Rip gently offers Beth his whiskey and leaves her to celebrate with the rest of the ranch while he goes to bed as Beth reflects on Rip's Cassandra moment. On Yellowstone, 4 a.m. is a relatively early time, and there is undoubtedly a lot of work to be done. Episode 2, Jamie and Sarah Atwood. In the next episode, we find Sarah Atwood, the mighty business shark played by Dawn Olivieri, Beth's most worthy rival. One may question why Season 4 Market Equity CEO Caroline Warner, Jackie Weaver, did not request her assistance. Is she a little wary of Sarah? Sarah is very alert as she comes off the company's private jet. However, you can guarantee she still finds time to flirt with and ultimately take advantage of men. Sarah maintains her composure as the Market Equities team witnesses John cancel the state's funds and permits for all their Paradise Valley development projects. She observes an angry-looking AG Jamie obediently signing John's executive order, just like Ellis Steele, John Emmett Tracy, did in the Season 5 opener. "That's the governor's son, right?" Sarah scoffs. "This is like conducting business in Utah. This son doesn't look up to this fight." Sarah murmurs as she leans closer to the TV. "Think I'm gonna start with him." We can only think of one question. Will Jamie be Sarah Atwood's friend or enemy? Episode 3, Schwartz and Meyer. In Yellowstone Season 5 Episode 3, Tall Drink of Water, Rattlesnake Beth Dutton prepares to strike. Beth appears to have killed Market Equity CEO Carolyn Warner. Still, in the Crystal Bar in Bozeman, she was bitten by married barfly Haley Brewer and is currently waiting to get released. Do you remember the financial company where Beth Dutton used to work, Schwartz and Meyer? It is the business that permitted her to buy land close to the Yellowstone ranch to safeguard her ancestors' property. It is the same business that Market Equities purchased to get the same land for its airport in Paradise Valley and other developments. The business that Beth acquired a controlling interest in after joining Market Equities in Season 4. In this episode of Season 5, Schwartz and Meyer are still very much in the picture. Beth travels to Salt Lake City to meet with her old friend Robert Baldus, who also happens to be the CEO of Market Equities' main rival, Bergen International, to keep one step ahead of Caroline Warner and her legal goons. She allows him to buy the majority stake in Schwartz and Meyer, which generates over $480 million in revenue annually. Numerous things will over Market Equities and Caroline Warner as a result of that deal. In exchange, Beth obtains 28,000 acres of land owned by Schwartz and Meyer, worth about $300 million, to place in a conservation easement. Episode 4, Sarah Atwood might be using a fake name. At the very start of the episode, there's a discussion about names. The discussion hints that Sarah Atwood is using a fake one. Following Beth's detention for serious violence, we catch up with her. She is in a cell with another woman, and as we watch, they share tales of how they came to spend the night in custody. When an officer arrives to remove Beth because Jamie has shown up to pay her bail, their talk is cut short. She calls Bethany Dutton, which causes Beth to stand up. As Beth exits the prison, the other inmate comments, "You don't look like a Bethany." Beth explains that she is not. She smirks and says, "I'm a Beth." Names and identities are brought up again toward the end of the episode when Beth investigates Sarah Atwood, whom she discovers on a date with Jamie, even though it initially doesn't seem like a significant event. Beth assumes the new Market Equities counselor uses a fictitious name when she discovers no internet evidence of her. Although we're not clear why or what Sarah's actual goals are in Montana, we know we can count on Beth to find out. Episode 5, Tate's request to go fishing. During the spring branding, Tate asked John to take him fishing in Episode 5, but this request has more significance than you would realize. The night before the spring branding, Case, Monica, and Tate visit the ranch for dinner. The young boy asks his grandfather, "Think we could sneak in some fishing?" Tate is heartbroken when John responds, "Not this trip, grandson." The viewers will know that since relocating to the ranch a few years ago, Tate has taken comfort in his fishing trips with his grandfather. In Season 1, it served as the basis for their friendship, and in Season 3, viewers witnessed John take Tate fishing to ease the trauma of his kidnapping. Tate's wish to go fishing may be a sign that he isn't handling the death of his baby brother very well, and that he feels unable to turn to his parents for comfort since they are, of course, also hurting. As viewers witnessed earlier in the show, Monica discovers Case sobbing on their porch and regrets that she never bothered to ask him about his feelings regarding the death of their child. In light of this, likely, Tate has not been questioned about how he is holding up. Episode 6, Thomas Rainwater's rival gets a new ally. The Duttons and their cowboys have many reasons to remember why they are battling so hard to keep Yellowstone and their land in Paradise Valley. In Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 6, Cigarettes, Whiskey, a Meadow, and You. Halfway through Season 5, Angela's mission to depose Thomas as leader of the Broken Rock Reservation is gathering steam. Mo doesn't have to consider who is in charge of the Commander-in-Chief's presence when he learns, thanks to the chopper and scores of security personnel, that the President of the United States is making an unexpected stop on the reservation. Thomas meets Angela as soon as he gets on the scene. Thomas contends that gatherings on the reservation need his permission. Still, Angela cites a provision in the tribal constitution that says, "This isn't assembling, this is greeting the President of the United States." Although Angela acknowledges that the visit was a last-minute decision, she justifies it by saying, "The people must know we aren't invisible." Additionally, Angela, who serves as the President's Director for Native American Matters, has obtained his support for Martin Kills Many as chairman of Broken Rock. He was just briefly presented in Episode 3 of Season 5. Episode 7, John calls Rip son. Later, Rip refers to Carter as son. Another flashback from Episode 7's opening scene shows young John Dutton calling Rip his son for the first time, although not under the best circumstances. Rowdy, an older cowboy, upsets Rip by talking about Beth. Thus, the two got into a fight, which ended with Rowdy carrying a knife and Rip's bashing him in the head with a rock. Later that night, when Rowdy starts coughing up blood, Rip rushes back to the ranch to tell John what happened. Rowdy calls out after him and advises him to lie and claim that he was bucked from his horse before continuing. They wonder why Rip didn't just make it easier by saying Rowdy fell off his horse when they found out he had died from his wounds. Rip replies that he made a promise to never lie to him. Before telling Rip how they keep secrets hidden on the ranch, John says in a fatherly tone, "Well, you're going to have to lie now, or you're going to prison, son." Later on in the show, when older Rip warmly refers to Carter as son, we witness a lovely instance of mirroring. Both of these instances draw parallels between Rip and Carter, who were both adopted at an early age. Nevertheless, it appears that Carter will avoid the branding until he finds in a similar situation as Rip found himself. Season 8, the episode ends with a dedication. Jamie Dutton officially declares war on his adopted father, Governor John Dutton, in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 8, titled "The Dream Is Not Me." An in memoriam message shows as the screen goes black after Case and Lloyd prepare the last trucks of cattle to be transported away from the ranch and south. It states, "In loving remembrance of Dr. Glenn Blodgett," stating that he was the horse division manager at the 6666 Ranch, an authentic ranch that Sheridan owned in Texas. According to an obituary posted on the ranch's website, Blodgett, known to his co-workers as Doc, passed away on November 20 at 73 due to a surgical complication. He had spent 40 years working for Burnett Ranches, a historic 6666 company. TV shows frequently pay respect to those who had a significant influence on the work, directly or indirectly through in memoriam segments. The show Yellowstone has honored cast, crew members, and country music superstars like John Prine. Blodgett probably had a significant part in assuring animal welfare on set, even though he wasn't credited, and was well known to those who have worked on the Paramount Network show, given that sequences set on the 6666 Ranch are shot on site, and that many horses are involved in the story. Overall, Yellowstone Season 5 has certainly not disappointed, and without a doubt, in comparison to previous seasons, Yellowstone Season 5 is definitely one of the best. We can't wait to see what Easter eggs are waiting for us in future seasons. Which Yellowstone Easter egg did you miss? Which Yellowstone season is your favorite? Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching.